From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. President Trump announced a massive round of tariffs. In his announcement, he said it's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper. U.S. financial markets on Tuesday have been unsettled in anticipation of Trump's tariff announcement. Trump insists the moves will strengthen the U.S. economy, even as many experts worry it could lead to higher prices for most American consumers. Among the tariffs announced, goods from China will face a 34% tariff, goods from Vietnam a 46% tariff, and items from the UK, Australia, Turkey, Singapore, Chile, and Colombia will face a 10% tariff. The full chart will be available on our social media channels. Trump used his tariff speech again to champion the Gilded Age. As he repeatedly said since starting his second term, Trump suggested that the U.S. was at its wealthiest when it was a tariff nation between 1870 and 1913. He added that for reasons unknown to mankind, the U.S. went to income tax in 1913. Trump suggested that the 1930s Great Depression was fueled by the U.S. going to an income tax and away from tariffs. Economists and historians say the U.S. did grow between 1870 and 1913, but that was mostly due to immigration and was racked by inequality. For historical context, consider this. The Tariff Act of 1930, commonly known as the Smoot-Hawley Tariff, was a law that implemented protectionist trade policies in the United States. Sponsored by Senator Reed Smoot and Representative Willis C. Hawley, it was signed by President Herbert Hoover on June 17, 1930. The act raised U.S. tariffs on more than 20,000 imported goods. Excluding duty-free imports, when enacted, the tariffs under the act were the second highest in United States history, exceeded by only the tariff of 1828. The act prompted retaliatory tariffs by many other countries. The retaliatory tariffs imposed by U.S. trading partners were a major factor in the reduction of American exports and imports by 67% during the Great Depression. Economists and economic historians have agreed that the passage of the Smoot-Hawley tariff worsened the effects of the Great Depression. In keeping with our recognition of LGBTQ plus elders through all of April, LGBTQ plus older adults are twice as likely to live alone than their straight peers, according to elder advocacy group SAGE, and they're 3 to 4 times less likely than other Americans to have children. That's the scenario the creators of Will and Grace are addressing in their new show, Mid-Century Modern, on Hulu, which Max Mutchnick and David Kohan produced along with American Horror Stories' Ryan Murphy. Think the Golden Girls with boys, swapping Miami for gay oasis Palm Springs. I think he's a lonely guy, said Nathan Lane of his character, wealthy businessman Bunny Schneiderman, who hops on the idea of creating a chosen family with co-stars Matt Bomer and Nathan Lee Graham. Getting together with these two friends is very meaningful, Lane told Yahoo Entertainment. He very quickly makes this suggestion that they all live together without thinking about the consequences. The 10-episode comedy, which bowed last week on Hulu, takes aim at loneliness and disparity that finds LGBTQ plus people in midlife and older more likely to feel isolated than other Americans by 49% to 35%. The population of LGBTQ plus Americans 50 and older is on track to reach about 7 million by 2030. Bomer, age 47, falls into the midlife demo with his character, Jerry Frank, a former Mormon navigating a midlife crisis, or renaissance, depending on how you look at it. He said joy was the foundation of his mid-century modern family. We wanted to bring joy to the world and celebrate queer joy and laughter and good times, Bomer shared. That's what we wanted to offer. Graham, who plays refined older roommate Arthur Broussard, said, I cannot wait for people to see how brilliant these gentlemen are. Like B. Arthur's Dorothy on The Golden Girls, Bunny brings his mom into the mix, played by the garrulous Linda Lavin. Unfortunately, after filming 8 episodes, Lavin died at age 87. In some strange way, with the tragedy of losing Linda, it only reinforces how important this chosen family is, Lane told Vanity Fair. The themes of getting older with this character, he wears his heart on his sleeve. As he talks about, he hasn't had some great romance in his life. He's lonely, Lane said of Bunny. It's very moving that this is his chosen family. Well, that's the news at this hour. Download the Live 365 app to take PEP Radio with you wherever you go. Now back to more music here on PEP Radio.